guys, in this video I'm going to break down my son's Jedi costume that I just finished making. I'm going to start on the outside and work my way to the inside and show you exactly what went into and how I made this costume. I used a Simplicity 5840 to make the robe. For the most part, the robe is super easy to make. The hardest thing about making it is it is so much fabric. I did have one issue with it, and that is here. If you can see here, there's a pleat. So I did the pleat like the directions said, but then I had all this extra fabric, and I don't know if I need to go back and reread the directions, but I just folded that fabric in. I didn't bother sewing it because I didn't want an extra stitch line down the front, and I figured it would be fine to just leave it. But I ended up with extra fabric on both sides. If I wouldn't have done the pleats on the hood, I think it would have matched up perfectly. Or maybe I was supposed to put some pleats in on this part. I don't know. Anyways, this is the robe. It flows really nicely when he is running or walking. It's very fun, and there's lots of room in the sleeve. I did add just a teeny tiny bit because he wanted to make sure that he had really large opening here so that he could like tuck his arms in and it would still hang down a little bit like the Jedis do. Oh, and then I just attached these two little clasps here. Keep in mind that the fit is kind of wonky because this is my dress form and my son is like half the size of me. So it does fit him a little bit different than it fits Loretta here. The next thing I made is this obi. And I used like a suede and a little bit of linen and pleather. All of this hardware I just took off an old purse that I didn't use. And I just cut it off of the purse and reused it for this. So, and that includes this little triangle clip and this rectangle clip here. I added 2 grommets here and then 2 more over here because the Jedi belt that I've seen has like, I don't know, they almost look like silver tacks that are sticking out, but I suppose it's to keep this belt in place, like the belt on top of the belt in place. And then I looped these over the whole thing just because I thought it looked nice. I attached a candy bag. You can also use it to carry his cell phone in it. But it's just a simple lined brown bag. And this is pleather. The leather part is pleather. And in order to make that, I just cut long rectangle and I sewed it together. I top stitched it. I did two lines of top stitching on both sides, and then for this part I just took a Sharpie because with pleather it's white on the inside, at least this pleather was white when you cut into it, and I just used a Sharpie to darken that up a bit so it's not as noticeable. Oh, and these little, what are they called? I forget what they're called, but they're like food and substance and energy capsules that they have. And I went out to the store and I just looked for a really simple pen, and I unscrewed the top of it. I put it on here, and I did use a little bit of E6000 to keep them in place so they wouldn't fall off or get lost. Okay, on the back here, this doesn't fit my mannequin. It fits my son, but it doesn't fit Loretta. And so I just pinned it on here. But I did 4 strips of Velcro. So there's Velcro on this side here. I didn't use a pattern for this. I just sewed a big rectangle. I did make one out of paper first, just to make sure that I was making it the right size. The 4 strips of Velcro hold it on really well. I was thinking I was going to have to add some sort of like metal clasps onto it, but it turns out that this is strong enough. I might weigh down the candy bag. I could still possibly add some metal clasps on here just for a little bit extra, to make sure that it doesn't fall off, but this is the inside. They're not a solid piece, that's just strips that I sewed to the back. I put some felt on the inside of this, and I sewed it in a couple places just to give it some stability. You could do iron-on felt on the inside part. If you don't put anything on the inside part of the obi, I think that it would wrinkle and like squish down when they're sitting. So it is important to put some interfacing or boning, even like sewable boning. I didn't do that. The felt is keeping its shape and it's working just fine, but I wasn't sure if it would be enough when I was making it, but it turns out it is, so that's awesome. For the tunic, I used this pattern, which is Simplicity 1552. I didn't really follow the directions and I changed it a little bit. I gave the collar a different line so that this goes straight down instead of curving around. Was that a mistake? I don't know. It does make the shoulders a little bit smaller, which works for my son right now, but you know, he's gonna get bigger, so I might have to add some more fabric to the actual shoulder piece as he gets older. For right now, it works fine. The tabards, I mean, they're just 2 strips of fabric. I did add like a little bit of an embellishment at the bottom of darker fabric, and I tacked it here, and I tacked it up here at the shoulders. You could do snaps, you could even safety pin it, but you're gonna wanna attach it up here, otherwise it will fall off when your child is wearing it, or when you're wearing it, it's not gonna stay on there without something holding it. This piece crosses over quite a bit, so I've got a button here to button it and a button here to button it to hold it in place. And then for the tabard shoulder pieces, I attached a button here, so he'll button it and then he'll put the obi on. Once he puts the obi on, you kind of have to adjust it so that these long rectangles hang in the right place. Now moving to the under part of the costume, we have the dicky. Okay, to make the dicky, I used Simplicity 5840 again. It's really easy to make. It's simple, there's interfacing to help keep it sturdy and looking the right way, and it just ties in the back. That is that. The pants, I was originally going to make the pants, and I had made some, but they turned out awful, so I just decided to go and buy some pants, and I got these at Fred Meyer's here. And they're actually women's pants, but they fit him really well, so, and they're super comfy. He likes them. And they have a really nice feel. They're light and they're tight, but not too tight. And to finish the costume, we just have a simple pair of boots. Ideally, I would have liked to get the bigger boots, but they're so expensive that I thought these were fine. So that's what we did. Yeah, and you can attach a little lightsaber to your belt. Good to go. Alright. Alright guys, and that's that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe with the bell notification so you can see my next video, and I hope you are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Bye.